Hello, everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be talking about a few things. In particular, it seems that there's a rumor going around that's spreading through the German community that on November 26th, on a Tuesday, the 16-man raid might be available for the North American and European servers to participate in. And I thought I would take it upon myself to make a video and explaining to people how they can best prepare for such content. The amount of God blessing that you're going to be needing for such a raid hasn't been made public, so nobody knows exactly what kind of gear you need to prepare for it. But what I do know is that if you do have gear that you've acquired recently or haven't had the opportunities to perfect the item options, that's something that you're definitely going to want to look at. So I thought I would take this time to explain to people what item option changing is and what you should be looking for when you're doing such a thing. Let me tell you, if you haven't done it yet and you start to do it to change the random options that you have on your items, you're going to see significant improvements in either your DPS output or your survivability. So let's hop right into it, okay? So right here, you see the item option changer. It's an NPC in the Accolade, or I believe there's also one in the Sunstrike or Sunstruck town. And the item that you're going to need for this are called Purification Stones. And mind you, not the level 2 ones. That is a remnant of the old version of the game. And level 2s were meant for gear that was between the range of level 24 and 30. That's no longer the case. You need Purification Stones that don't distinguish like any sort of level range. So this bow, it's a keen bow from the 8-man content, and I acquired it recently. So I did have some time to change the options. So I can actually change the options, but not choose to apply it to give you guys a little bit of a insider look as to what the thought process is between changing the options. So what you can do is you can hover over this question mark here, and it tells you the ranges for different stats. What I thought the best stat for the bow was the physical defense penetration for me as a ranger. And so what I did was I put it in there and I pressed change option until I get a physical defense penetration that is like towards the very top. Oh, look at that luck right there. So it costs 3 of these per roll, and then I can choose to apply it. And then now that I got like kind of the desired stats in that one, I'm going to switch over to physical defense. The other options are HP recovery, max HP, or the various defenses. For the 16-man raid, I'm going to want physical defense. There's not too much that does magical defense. That's kind of meant for PvP if you're going against spell swords or other magic damage dealing classes. So I'm going to roll and see if I can get some additional physical defense on this piece of gear. Max HP doesn't really do very much for me in this particular case, nor does HP recovery. So I'm going to keep rolling. You'll be surprised how many of these you go through. So 55. HP recovery is maxed out there. 55 again. No luck. 57. I'll apply it. It's the same amount, but you guys understand the idea. And now over here, I have 59 magic defense. It can go up to 66. I think that's a decent amount. The offhand here is physical defense penetrations, also at 611 or 618. The shoulder, so you can see on the offhand, physical defense penetration just seems to be the one that's the best. Magic defense penetrations, for some reason, is like really low. So you want to check to see which pieces of gear have different ranges, because you can see the shoulders, for example, can give a bunch of physical critical attack, right? Or agility. However, I believe the weapon also can give physical critical attack, but only 5 to 10. So you can see the shoulders are actually way better if you want physical critical attack, right? So you have to definitely look at the different pieces of gear and the ranges that they have to find out which slot has the best ability to acquire a certain stat. For example, the gloves, I can get 36 agility, right? And I could also get more physical critical attack here, right? And it seems like it's the same for this one. I can get 36 agility. So actually what I'm going to do here, instead of going for agility on the gloves, probably more of a PvP stat, I'm going to see if I can get some more physical critical attack here. Magical critical attack, physical critical attack. I don't have to worry about accuracy. I'm not going to be too worried about not hitting things in the 16-man raid. Looking for physical critical attack. Crit rate resistance. See, that would be good if I had a better range on it. 23. I'm looking for something a bit higher. Maybe 30. No. No luck here. Critical defense, that's 10.
Is there anything you don't like?
Wow. 36 agility. I mean, I'll take the 1 stat improvement. Unfortunately, I didn't get exactly what I wanted. And then you could change these here, which have percentage amounts for different abilities. What I like are chest penetration. It's my best attack. This bracer here doesn't have anything that gives me any sort of benefit on chest penetration, so I am going to re-roll it. Lower Swift's good. Magic Arrow is a sniper ability. I don't use that one. Oh, you can actually get 2 of the same. Wait, that's sick. I didn't know that, actually. I'm learning stuff with you guys, I guess. So I want double chest penetration. That's like ideal. Nope, no luck there. So I actually ran out. So make sure if you're going to leave the NPC that you save and apply. I'm going to go over to the auction house. Purification stone. Purification stone. Purification. And I'm going to buy... This one's only for 1,200 for 100. That's pretty good. And honestly, I'll buy some more because I really want them. Really want to make sure that my gear is as good as it possibly can be.
It's a beautiful day today.
So, more chest penetration. Let's see. Rain of arrows, no. Magic arrow. Chest penetration, that's 4.9%. Dagger throw is also really good. I'm going to lock that in for now, but I'm going to keep rolling for chest penetration. .5 with Rain of Arrows. Rain of Arrows is pretty bad, so I'm going to Dagger Storm. That's my AoE ability. And it does go up on the chest penetration. Okay, I'll do that one. So that's one way that you could definitely improve your gear. Another thing that you want to do is you want to definitely make sure that you have at least a +5. +5 is super attainable. I have some new pieces of gear here that I'm going to use some enhancement stones. They're pretty cheap on the auction house. I think they're going for like 1k each. Super cheap. And if you're not enchanting super high, you don't have to spend that much. So let's see. I'm going to bring it over to +5. Don't need to use any cubics. It gives me 57 armor, which is like good. It's definitely useful. So everybody should, if they're participating in the 60-man content, they should definitely make sure that this is their baseline. Also, another thing is that the magic stones, you want to make sure that you have the level 2 magic stones in every one of your bow has the red one, your offhand, or your main hand has the red one, offhand has the orange one, chest piece has the green one, and the blue one is on your pants. So I actually ran out of enhancement stones here, so I'm going to go back to the auction house. I have a decent amount of gold. So this is just a definite, like, a worthwhile cost to increase my strength so I can make sure that I'm best equipped to help my guild clear the 16-man content. I'm just going to go down and click buy now price to organize it by that. Best price I'm seeing is 1,000 each, which is really good. I remember buying these for a lot more. Take them out of the auction house and go back to the enhancer. So, yeah, those are the 3 things that you could definitely make sure that you have. You have your magic stones, equipped it on your gear. You have everything at least like a +5. And you want to use the item option changer to make sure that you have the optimal stats, because you're missing out on a lot of stats, especially if your penetrations on your main hand and your offhand are incorrect. You're missing out on a lot of potential good stats. So, since I don't have very many enhancement stones on me, been using a lot of them, I'm just going to get this one to +4 and then get the other item over here to a +5 or so, or +4 also, and then go back to the chest. Very cheap. 32 gold for +1. 25. So it seems like your pants give you more magic defense. So you probably want to focus more on your chest anyway, because it gives more physical defense. I don't know if every class is the same, but that's definitely the case that I see here with the Ranger. Yep, so that's an easy +4. And let's put the chest back in, see if I can get a +5 here. Offhand cannot be upgraded. I did get a +5 there. It can go down from here on out, so since I don't have enough enhancement stones or enchantment stones to make sure that I can get to a +6 instead of going back down to a +4, I'm going to stay at a +5. It's a nice modest upgrade number, but until you have the legendary gear that you get from the 16-man raid, you're probably going to be at a modest upgrade level until you can make sure that you can spend the cubics and you're not going to replace the gear immediately once the 16-man gear comes out. So I hope this really helps you guys out. The 16-man raid is supposedly going to be coming out on November 26th. You can see that on the world map. Here, let me just cut over to that right now where I'm standing over the raid. So here I am with the 16-man raid here. It seems that this one, Scourged Mountain, is going to be the one that we will be attempting first. As you can see, it kind of is on the bottom of the hill, and it does kind of seem to thematically lead up into this other raid. I'm not sure when this one's going to be open and when how the quest will unlock. I'm assuming it has to do with defeating the dragon that is in Scourged Mountains before you go to Grave of Time. So essentially, those 3 things that I mentioned earlier about making sure you have the correct magic stones, they're not bind on pickup or anything, so your guild members probably have extras of them. Having the purification stones, they're pretty cheap on the auction house. The enhancement stones also very cheap on the auction house. Spent a couple 100,000 gold, and I'm definitely much stronger than I was before. The defenses definitely add up when the AI in the 16-man raid definitely hits you a lot harder. And you also want to make sure that your gear is upgraded to at least a +5 or a +4. You can cross your fingers and not upgrade it any more than that if you're expecting to clear the 16-man raid and equip the legendary gear that drops from that raid. So that's the first few things that you definitely want to make sure that are off your checklist before you're queuing up for the 16-man raid. If you have any questions as far as the 16-man raid may be concerned, I am willing to answer some questions, but if you're asking for more specific mechanics and how to defeat it, or the strategies and how to defeat the 16-man raid, I might not be willing to disclose that information publicly until Gaia does complete the raid. But I have no problem helping you guys understand what to expect as far as like group compositions and things like that, because it would be kind of frustrating if you don't have the basic required troops to defeat the early stages of the 16-man raid and then end up being gated behind, I don't know, gold or troop stones or troop coins until, later in the week or perhaps even next week. So I wish you guys all the best of luck in completing the raid. If you have any concerns or if you'd like to leave me some feedback on this, you can do so on this video. I also am going to be streaming, perhaps not the 16-man raid, pretty much every day. And you can ask me on my Twitch at twitch.tv/macro with an _. You can also contact me in-game. I have no problem answering your guys' questions. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you.